Hey guys, today I'm going to do a video making avocado.
Alright, let's try that again. So today we're going to be making Pomme De Terre puree à Vian. Before we get started, can you give this video a thumbs up? Share with a friend, subscribe if you're new here, and turn on your notification bell for more videos. In my boiling water, I added some salt. Now that my potatoes are getting ready to cook, we're going to be making the meat filling next. I have some shallots here that I'm going to be using. You can find this at your local grocery store. I'm also going to be using a teaspoon of mustard. I have some bell peppers and onions in the shallot that I showed previously chopped up ready to go. I also have some mozzarella cheese and cheddar cheese to use, but that's optional. You don't have to use it. And then I have some butter that I'm going to be using in the mashed potatoes later on. I have my ground beef, and I also have some evaporated milk that we're going to be using also. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get the meat prepared. So be sure to grab a pot that you want to cook this in. Turn your stove at medium heat and go ahead and add your meat. I did not add any oil or butter to the pan because the meat will produce its own oils, so that's why I did not add any. So we're going to brown up the meat, and then we're gonna add up the other stuff to our recipe. Again, I got this off my mom's cookbook. It gave me two options. It gave me an option, one without the meat and one with the meat. I chose to do the one with the meat, and I'm glad I did. I really enjoy it, and so I wanted to share it with you guys as well. So as the meat cooks, you want to keep shredding it to have it really small, or as fine as you want it to be, I should say. Always go with your preference. Mine is just merely suggestions. So once the meat is done, I'm going to take all of the oil out of there, and then I'm going to be sauteing the onions and the bell pepper next. So that's me removing all the oil out of the meat, and I took my meat out, put it in a separate bowl because I'm going to get ready to saute those vegetables. So go ahead and add a teaspoon of butter, and then I'm going to be adding another teaspoon of épices. That's optional, but make it taste really good. So you're gonna stir all that in, and then go ahead and add your onions and bell pepper in next. Okay, so go ahead and add your veggies in. Make sure you stir it nicely, and you want to saute it for a good 2 minutes. You don't want it to be, crunchy. You want it to be nice and soft. So, and also you can chop these a little bit finer than me, but I like to see my onions and stuff in my food. That's why I usually keep it about that size. So now go ahead and get your ground beef. You could also do it with either ground turkey or shredded chicken as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be ground beef like I'm doing. Again, these are just, merely suggestions. So I'm going to grab a lime, just half of a lime, and I'm going to be squeezing that lime juice in there, and the purpose of me doing that is just to have a nice smell to it, and so it could have a good taste as well. So I'm adding the seasonings on my meat now. So I'm doing Creole seasoning, seasoned salt, adobo, and also garlic. Garlic is the last one that I added in. Go ahead and stir it again. Also be sure to taste, so you make sure that it's the seasoning that you are wanting. So now we're going to get that teaspoon of mustard. We're going to add that, and we're going to stir it in. You want to take your time when you're doing it, because you want to make sure the mustard is nicely incorporated in there. And then after that, leave it for a good 2 minutes, and then you could turn your stove off. At this point, the potatoes are ready. I'm going to turn off the stove and drain them, and we're going to mash them. You don't want to cool down your potatoes. You want to mash them while they're hot. So after that, I'm going to add the butter in. I did let my butter soften up a little bit. So after we add our butter, we also going to be adding or milk in. If you want the measurement on that, I literally just did a splash of milk in the recipe. It did not give me an exact measurement. It just says add milk if needed, and I felt like I needed it. But I think what they were trying to convey is not to have a very soft mashed potato. They wanted to still have some kind of shape to it, and I really think that's why they did not ask for all those extra creams and stuff like that that would get the mashed potato to be extra soft. But this is what it looks like after I'm done with it. We're going to be taking a baking dish. I'm going to just spray my baking dish down, or you can do some butter so it won't stick to the bottom of your pan. You're gonna want to add your mashed potatoes first, give it a nice spread, and then after that we're going to add our meat, and then we're going to add more mashed potatoes to cover it, and then we'll be adding our cheese. And you know, that's pretty much it. It's not, you know, a complicated recipe. You know, I really like to share easy things that we can learn in the kitchen with, and you know, share with our family and friends and stuff like that. So yeah, once your meat is in the center, you want to go ahead and grab more mashed potatoes, add it on top, spread it out, then add the cheese on top of it. Alright, so add your cheese, and I took some butter and I softened it up and I put it on top, and then I added to my oven at 350 degrees, and it was ready in about 30 to 35 minutes. And then you can take it out the oven and let it cool off first before you cut into it. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it. You know, very simple. Some people might say it's similar to shepherd's pie, but I definitely think this one tastes a lot better, and then we're not using any flour or anything like that. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy recipe. And you know, this is me cutting into it because I wanted you guys to see what it looks like once it's cut. And there it is. It's very cheesy. So I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a comment down below and let me know. Again, if you're new to my channel, subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Hi, bye everyone. Thank you for my mommy's channel.